some money to build and maintain.
You can get your own shot.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have the right credentials.
Yes, sir.
That baby.
You'll pass that front door.
Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino. We're proud to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of this year's National Finals Tonight show. Brought to you in part by Cinch, Priefert, Crown Royal Vanilla, Absolute, Bullet Bourbon, Jameson, 14 Hands Wines, Bud Light, Ram Rodeo, Neutrina, Boot Barn, Montana Silversmiths, Cactus Saddles, Big Tex Trailers, Resist All Hats, American Cowboy Magazine. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Don Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everybody. What a good-looking crowd, and welcome. We are so glad. Let me see. Can you hear me? There it goes. We are so glad to have you here for the 10th year of National Finals tonight. And how many went to the rodeo tonight? Very many of you were actually there. We are off and running, aren't we? And we're excited about this first night here. And I'm going to get my co-hosts, actually the stars, I'm going to get them out right here, and we'll get this thing started. So if you will, this first gentleman, I've worked with him for 30 years. My goodness, the best bull rider ever. Would you welcome 8-time world champion Donnie Gay is here this evening. Donnie, come on out, sir.
All right.
Hello, my friend.
30 years?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're looking old.
Yes.
Let me get what? Yeah.
I've carried you a lot longer than your mother did. So let's get the let's get our co-host out here, shall we do that? And he's always bearing gifts. This guy is also an 8-time world champion and just an all-around good guy. Joe Beaver is here this evening. Would you welcome Joe Beaver?
Hey,
Yay!
30 years? 30 years. I bet that seems like 60 years when you work with Donnie Gay.
I love you too, buddy. Yeah, well,
Swing him out there, Joe.
for those of y'all that went to that rodeo, there's a roof on that
There
place
you go.
because he got it put on there.
Joe, what are you giving out tonight? What's in the bags there?
We got Neutrina T-shirts. We got Priefert caps. We got bags that we give away. I give away at the autograph sessions and stuff. So it's just little things. Sometimes you need that bag, catch all the BS me and Donnie throw at you out here. So
It'll be full time you leave, yeah. I was just mentioning to him, this is the 10th year that we have been doing this show now, and this show started really just kind of tell, Donnie, how did it start?
Just visiting, and the buckle
Yep.
ceremony used to be at the Gold Coast, which is a Boyd Gaming property, and it went to the South Point, and people were asking, what are we going to do? How are we going to replace that buckle presentation? And they were trying to think of what they were going to give away, and I said, well, why don't you just have a new show? And he said, well, what do you got in mind? And I said, hell, I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. You just usually start things and somebody else finishes them.
that's the first time he said, I don't know. I promise you that.
Yeah.
10 years.
Took 91 shows to.
Seems like 4 years with Dan. Seems like 30 years with you, Donnie.
Hey, let's tell everybody, if you have a question that you would like to ask during the show, and we've already had some come in, all you have to do is text us. And you can do that. The number, I believe, is up there on the screen right there. Text your questions to us, and Donnie and Joe would be glad to answer those, and we'll find out answers for you. Also, we want to tell you, if you want to watch these shows, the YouTube channel, Boyd Gaming Rodeo channel, you can always see what we're doing here at the Orleans. Guys, I want to talk there's so many stats here. This is the 32nd year for the NFR here in Las Vegas. And they've got an extension now through 2024. 300 performances. How old will you be then, Shorty?
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir?
I rode at the first one that they had here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was also his last one and my first one. So he's damn old.
Ow!
In case you're trying to get that.
Well, let's do this because that was in 85.
That was the only reason that I qualified for the finals that year. I mean, it was beginning to hurt. And I just wanted to find out if I could stay in Las Vegas for 10 days on purpose.
There you go, and it worked out.
And it was good.
What I wanted to tell you, Donnie, in the first year, this year, first place per round pays $26,231. Your first year you came to the finals was it was 19.
72.
And what did to win a round, what did it pay?
First place?
Yep.
$492.
Wow. And Joe, when you came in 85?
I think it paid $8,000.
8,500. That was the most money. That was double what the go-rounds paid in 1984 in Oklahoma City. That's why we moved, because Benny and Bill Boyd and Sean Davis got the rodeo, got the money, doubled it, and moved to Las Vegas. Best thing that ever happened to a professional
look
rodeo.
at it now. It's
And look at it now,
$26,000
$26,000 go round.
You can honestly come here now.
$67,000 average.
Because we talked about this the other day, just talking. You can honestly come here and have a shitty week and win 50 or 60,000. And when you get here, it's clear. Whatever you win here is clear. So
worst finals I've ever had that I got to finish all 10 go-rounds when I didn't get hurt was 1985. I rode 5 out of 10 and won $15,000. I only won $15,000 one other time at the NFR, and I rode 9 out of 10.
And Joe, it's $10 million in prize money this week. As you mentioned, if you have a bad week, you can win $50,000. If you have a good NFR, you can win 100. Exactly right. I was asking earlier how many went to the rodeo. In case you missed this first round here this evening, the highlights, we put together the winners for you. Joe and Donnie do it on television. They're going to do it for you here live. So guys in the back, if we can roll round one highlights, starting right over here, Donnie, with the bareback riding, let's give it a shot.
All right, Tanner Ross in the bareback riding. He showed you why he comes in here and everybody watching him. He's got a horse they call Control Freak. Well, I think Tanner Ross is the Control Freak. He spurs this horse as well as you can spur one. Both feet, everything. This horse is changing directions, but you watch his body. It's straight down that horse's back, not one side or the other. Spurs coming back to the rigging, setting his feet before the horse's front feet hit the ground. Look at that. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. In the steer wrestling, there's a reason they call him the horse of the year. Here he is, Cadillac, Clayton Haas. This guy's got a chance to win all-around championship, people.
Terrell, Texas.
Terrell, Texas. Watch a great start at the barrier. Reaches out there long ways. Big guy, but caddy. Slides him around when he hooks the nose. Big kick out of the steer. Good flag. Thinks he's going to win the round. Guess what? His traveling partner, Tyler Wagensback, comes right back on the same horse, same hazer, splits the go-around. The reason horses cost a lot of money is they're dang worth it. Watch this. He gets a little tight, gets enough room right there at the end, climbs in there, slides one leg, hooks the nose, 3/8, splits the go-around tonight in the steer wrestling, same horse. Team roping, I call him Duck Dynasty. This guy can heel, but he's going to dally his beard one of these days. Watch this. He turns it. Look how far he is from that steer.
Wow.
And he heels it.
The horse is
The first Canadian National Finals team to make the National Finals. And Levi Simpson reaches a long way. Steers are big. They're strong this year. Now watch how far. This steer takes a big, long hop. He is 15 feet from him. Duck Dynasty sets him down. They win and go around at 4 and 4.
They're roping, and it's old Canada, the saddle bronc riding. It's one of those right boys. There's a whole passel of them. He's got a Frontier Rodeo bucking horse called Time's Up. Frontier Rodeo, stock contractor of the year. 2 times my boss. Yes, sir, I got to brag on him. The rider right. This kid right here just barely is shaving. Look at that. This is saddle bronc riding. It's why you call it the classic event of rodeo, because there's not anything any better looking when a horse is bucking and a guy rides like that. Outstanding.
Former world champion Shane Hanchy. He has ridden this horse, people, since 2003.
He's a Boyd gaming cowboy.
13 years this Boyd gaming man has ridden this horse. He's going to go buckle on him here. He cracked him back out this year. Here's the difference. He holds his slack, turns the calf around. Calf's waiting on him and says, hey, if you don't mess me up, I'll let you in to go around. And he didn't. 2 wraps and a hooey. Shane Hanchy. That's how he started his last go buckle in the barrel race. We saw more down barrels tonight than ever before, I think, the first go-around. But not for Pamela Capper. Watch this. The money barrel was on target all the way across the second. This horse stands up, runs on top of the ground around the barrels. She gets her one over and under. That third barrel is on the rope and shoots.
That was almost like what you say. You got to slow down to be fast. She really made a great run. Now, who's surprised Sage Kimsey is going to win the go-round? He's got a Frontier Rodeo Bucking Bull, a Frontier Rodeo Bucking Bull. Aftershock. That bull bucked him off at 2.2 seconds in Pasadena, Texas at our rodeo at the Champions Challenge. I swear to God, I could do an interview with him while he's riding the bull and he could talk in a normal voice. He rode that bull so stinking easy. I mean, I just love it. This kid right here is showing everybody he's Top Gun.
There you have it, round one. Give the boys a hand. Nice job there, fellas. Donnie, here's a quick question for you. Donnie, how does your dad stay looking so young? How old did your dad just turn this last year?
90 years old.
Neil Gay is 90 years old.
And I'm going to tell you something. If you crossed him today, he'd still take you back to that little shed at Mesquite, and he'd probably whip your butt today.
You know, I've been really blessed. I mean, to have my father for my entire life of 63 years, him 90 years old, is pretty special. You know, I can say special now. You know, when I was a teenager, it was pretty scary. But you know, there wasn't any time out at my house, and
There was that shed.
There was that shed, and I've been in it before. Trust me, you know. And every whooping I ever got, I deserved every single one of them. And had he not been that hard on me, there ain't no telling what would have happened. You know,
oh, man, I can't
we'd be looking at him bars somewhere.
I mean, but it awfully special. But
and I'm going to tell you something, Dan. People out there, you can still. I saw him tonight now, and I got to talk to him in the hallway. And I mean, he's 90 years old, and but when he gets a hold of your mitt, he shakes your hand like a man. You know, he's not 90. He's just old.
Well, you know, he got on that horse, and everybody was kind of worried about him a little bit. I wasn't worried about him at all. About 3 weeks ago, and Jim called and said, "Look, we got about 60 bulls in 800-acre trap that we got to get up, and can you come help me?" I said, "Sure." So I said, "You got a horse I can ride?" I don't have a horse on my place, first time in my life. So I drive over, and they got a horse saddle, and I go in there, and I get him, lead him out of the barn. I look around, first guy rides out of the barn's my daddy. I looked out, and it's raining right straight down. And he looked at me, and he went, "Damn, they're dragging the bottom of the barrel to go get these bulls."
Jeez. Some things never change.
I love the guy.
That was a good question. We appreciate that. Let's get our first guest out here for this year. And I wanted this young man to come out here just to really so that we could tell him congratulations. He lives 30 minutes away from me in Wyoming, and I hardly ever see him but twice a year. And you call a lot of people the best. This young man just last night was given the award. Now seven-time PRCA Bullfighter of the Year. Dusty Tuckness is here tonight. Yeah.
All right.
Once again.
Yep. Sean, if you could bring us out another microphone. There we go. This is for you, Sean. No, you're good, Donnie.
Sit down. See, he never does what he's told.
There you go. There
7 times, Dan, not once, not twice. 7 times. That says a lot by itself.
And I don't know if you can even put it into words. That looks like you got a mouse on your eye from tonight already. But 7 times, what an amazing run you have had. Your 8th time to the NFR, but 7 times winning that award. Tell us what it means to you.
Yeah, it's just very humbling. Just a blessing. Thank God every day for it. Just to be able to live a dream. You know what I grew up into. My dad fought bulls and just kind of fell into his shoes one day and never looked back. And to be here and to receive that award more than once is it's pretty dang cool. And this is where every cowboy wants to be at the end of the year, is in Las Vegas. So, like I said, I'm just happy to be here.
And before we're going to show him at work, but before we do that, just count how many rodeos will you do a year?
At the end of this season, so I've got 10 more perfs this year. I got 1 perf after the NFR in Montana. I'll have 180 plus performances for 2016. So stay pretty busy, but again, I'm thankful.
Out of 365 days, that's busy.
Not too bad, but there's still a few days that I can work.
And do
Running for your life most of the time those
Yes.
days, too.
physically, Dusty, you feel as good as feel like you can keep doing it for years to come, or how do you feel physically?
Yeah, I feel great. There's days where, you don't feel that great, but, taking it serious like a job and training day in and day out and try to better yourself every time you get a chance is a huge part of the sport of rodeo. And you see in the rodeo athletes now, I mean, these guys show up and they're ready and they're prepared and, they want to leave with a gold buckle. So
Life is good for this young man. He's got a beautiful young lady back there, Lexi, that he's dating, and this guy does a lot of charity up around Cody, Wyoming for our people up there. We're going to take a look at you and your team at work, and what I've done, we've put together just a little montage that you and Donnie can talk about. Talk about who you're here with, Cody, and who your teammates are.
yeah, this year, Cody Webster, this is his 4th time here at the NFR. The kid's probably one of the handiest, smoothest young guns I've ever seen in my life. As well as Nate Justice, another Wyoming boy, so 2/3 of the bullfighting crew this year is from this. Yeah, and this is Nate's first time, and the kid's handy. I mean, he's dedicated. He puts a lot of work into it, and he got a lot of good rodeos this year. And he showed up and he was consistent, saved guys day in and day out. And there's a reason why he's here, and I'm happy for him.
Beat me out of $5 playing golf, too.
That guy can whack a golf ball.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can.
That ain't no kidding.
Dusty, let's take a look at you guys at work tonight. We've just kind of got 3 right in a row for you. If you can roll that for us, fellas, you and Donnie can talk about this great work tonight.
Okay, well, we got, looks like Rory Meyer coming down, and go head on.
Yeah, right there. Roy just kind of come off on the right side, and, we just try to position ourselves in the right spot. And right there, that's what we call the blender. Bull's just kind of getting sucked down the blender. And
Cody Teal, world champion. I don't read your resume.
yeah, the bull's kind of got a little hold to him, and Cody just got in a bit of a bind, and teamwork again. I got him pulled to Webb, and Webb jumped up, pulled his tail, and Nate come in and cleaned it up. So got a great team.
This was fun.
Yeah, well,
Jordan Spears.
he's always in for. He dang sure gives us a run for our money
Makes you work for it, don't he?
Yeah, and it just kind of everything unfolded weird here. The bull was or threw him high side away from us all, and I was really just trying to get in on that left horn and pull his head away from him as much as I could, and he was just running a little faster than I was, I guess.
Well, there are some times that it doesn't matter how many guys are out there. There's sometimes that you can't do anything about it, and to me that's one of them, and and that's on the bull rider. But I said on the telecast tonight, basically the bull riders are pretty safe out there because bullfighting has evolved and gotten, in my mind, so much better. We've had great bullfighters. I mean, going back, Wickpath, Cajun Kid, and you can fight bulls forever because Cajun Kid was like 50-something years old at the NFR, but he didn't chase or try to outrun the bull or anything. He just stood back over and was hollering at me, "Get up!" So it was an easy gig.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. Like I said, when I first come on the scene, a lot of guys I got to work with were a lot older than me. Now there's a little closer knit of guys where we're 2, 3, 4 years apart, and the dedication and the athletic part of it is really gaining. And there's a good group of guys out there today sure fight bulls, so it keeps me on my toes.
Okay, so talk about bullfighting coming back as a featured event. That's got to be exciting, doesn't it?
It was a year ago today when BFO, brought back bullfights again at the Cowboy Christmas, and it went over really good. And a year later, there's been a lot of talk of stuff in the PRCA and the PBR and different associations. So it's a hot topic, and with the BFO, it's growing awesome. We had the Ruffy Cup today, and Weston Urkowski, he defended his title again. He went 93.5 points on a bull named Spitfire, and it was an awesome show. The sold-out crowd, and we got 2 more rounds this weekend in Cowboy Christmas. and then starting Wednesday through Saturday at the Covered Arena at the Hard Rock. So it's neat to see it coming back.
Well, it's always a fan favorite. I mean, because it's athlete versus animals, what that is. It's not, like you said, they don't stand around and look at them. It's a bullfight, and it's a crowd pleaser. I think it needs to come back for you guys.
Well, I tell you, I'm glad that Dusty came out tonight. He's never turned me down, and I appreciate that over the last 10 years so very much. But we're going to have the whole crew on later during the week of the show. But I'm thankful for Dusty Tuckness, 7-time PRCA Bullfighter of the Year. Would you give him a hand right here? Dusty Tuckness, Matitsi, Wyoming.
What a nice young man with a lot of talent.
Yeah, just outstanding. 7 times. Let's move on here. Joseph, this young man, just 25 years old, got his whole future ahead of him in the hunt for the all-around title here, which a lot of guys are. And maybe when Boyd's here, we'll talk about that a little bit more. Every race is wide open this year, as is the team roping. And this young man had a rough night tonight, but we're going to talk about that.
I was going to say, be nice to him, will you? He seemed like a nice
I'll be nice as I can.
Good thing for you guys, we go from Wyoming to Texas. Would you welcome Clay Smith here this evening? Clay Smith. Hello, handsome.
All right, we'll start with the positives. The positives is this man does have a chance to win 2 buckles, a gold buckle on the heading and an all-around championship. And this year we're in a unique position. We don't have, the first night we don't say the all-around sewed up. 1 go-around's in the books, big deal. Guys did good, guys did bad. But it's cool this year because we've seen guys go out of their comfort zone and steer wrestle and rope calves and ride broncs, the bull riders, and bull riders try to ride a bull or bulldog, and it's kind of made it a fun race. When did you decide you want to throw that name in that all-around and start roping calves?
I love roping calves, and I've always wanted to, start entering a lot, but I guess just kind of here at the end of the year, I thought, man, I got enough in the team roping, I ain't got to be pressuring myself, and I thought now would be the chance to rope calves and see what happens. And now I've recently bought a horse, and I'm hopefully next year I'll be able to do it more.
But we talked about this, Donnie and I too. Last year the all-around's always out of reach. It's just out of reach. It's not a goal. It's not something you want to go spend money and buy other horses and enter other events because there's one guy and he wins it every year. But this year's what's made it cool. It's opened the door for a lot of you guys to go on and put your foot in that water and see how it's like. And then next year we might have some real all-around races.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see the guys that are doing other events. It's gonna be pretty interesting.
These guys have had a great year this year. You won Fort Worth, Denver, Dodge City, and the all-around, you won that at Amarillo and down in Bridgeport, Texas as well. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's just, because I told him the good luck is...
I'm waiting on bad news.
Yeah, the good luck is you come here and then you're going to win the next round. So
That's
Joe,
what I told him.
Clay
had a bad night tonight. If he didn't go to the rodeo, he missed. He's not supposed to miss. He doesn't miss the first one. But I said, if you come to our show almost every time somebody does that, they win the next round. So he texts me right back, I'll be there.
I just wish the show would have started last night. I would have been a lot better shape.
Colin, if you guys have that racked up back there, let's take a look at Clay's work from tonight in round 1.
All right, talk about right here. What got you behind?
I pulled at the barrier a little bit, and I normally don't pull. Normally, especially in a setup where it happens so fast, a guy's got to have a swing down, and I was swinging too tight, and I knew when I rode out exactly what I'd done, but it's too late.
Was that nerves of the NFR? I mean, you've been here before, so that's not a rookie mistake, but talk about that, because the mental side is the most important anyway.
It's kind of like laying it. I knew the steer that I had tonight was supposed to run and be a little low-headed, and so I thought, I'm going to just drill the barrier. Well, steer didn't start, and I kind of had a game plan already premeditated, and so I should have just reacted.
I tell
messed
bull
myself
riders whenever that bull's supposed to go to the left and he goes to the right, and I say, got caught in your own trap.
You know what my wife said one time? I was burning a guy's phone up trying to find out about a calf I had. He had him 2 rodeos before. And she said, do you really think it's the same day for that calf as it was 2 rodeos ago? Right. And how did y'all win so much before videos and cell phones? Right. And we talked about running them through the other day. Yeah. They were strong. There was no crowd in there. They run all these steers. They run them through. You know, on Tuesday, they run them. They rope them. They know. And like Clay said, that steer was sharp out of the gates. He was kind of low-headed. And tonight, honestly, he was good.
He was a great steer.
But when you get there and you try to make that plan and you get everything, lined up, and then it doesn't come. Sometimes it gets him nerves. No way, it wasn't nerves. The only thing I think got him is when you pulled, you got a little bit tight with that swing, and you were thinking everything was going to come together, and it really didn't.
Right, exactly. Just a guy should right there either take another swing or, just react, and that's.
Well, and you started coming there was just 2 loops, right?
Yeah.
Okay, used to be in a team rope, and it was 3 loops, and you could get away with a loop like that. Yeah. And you just rebuild and knock him down and come next Saturday, that wouldn't be a big deal. But now with the 2-loop system, a miss is no time, you're 1 steer down, which 9 steers is going to probably win something, but not what you wanted to win, which was the average, and everything else. But this is when a guy, I think the 2 loops have helped team roping here because if you think about it and take one more and break it down and catch, you're on top. The guy's thinking he's on top of his game. But we saw, nerves. You talk about nerves. I can name you 4 guys tonight in the heading that were just shell shocked and just threw big old turd loops right over the gate. That was, that wasn't Clay's deal. It wasn't like deer in the headlights. Oh, hope it goes on. It just didn't work tonight.
Even though that's what it looked like, but it wasn't.
I'm trying to butter it up a little bit,
Clay, I want to ask you, because I think most people know this, but when you were 7 years old, Clay was on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And you were on there with your brother?
Yes, sir.
As well? And,
yes, sir.
And at 7 years of age, how did that come about? Did NBC contact you guys? Did somebody...
It's kind of a weird story. My brother Jake, he's 2 years younger than me. We'd came out here, and he had won the world champion dummy roping. And somebody from Jay Leno's show got to look in, and they want to know what a world champion dummy roper was. And so
they thought they took a rope and chased Donnie around, rope Donnie.
So they
I really do love the guy.
They somehow found these producers, and they called and they said, "Hey, who's the world champion dummy roper? What's this about?" And they said, "We need to get a hold of the Smiths." And they said, "Jake Smith is, he's won the world championship dummy roping." So anyway, they called, and it was on April Fool's Day, and talked to my dad, and he thought it was a joke, and so it was a crazy deal. But they somehow got hillbillies out to Hollywood, and it was a fun experience. It was.
Well, and it's something that's never taken away from you.
No.
It doesn't matter what they've got the other field of headers have. You got something they don't have, baby. You got a trip to Jay Leno show.
I got to go to Jay Leno.
Did you just talk, or did you rope the dummy for him?
Before the show they set up a dummy because they didn't have no idea what we'd done. They called the first day to talk to us on the phone, and they talked to Jake, and Jake at the time was 5 years old.
He's 5 and you're 7, so they call y'all.
He was 5. They wanted to make sure he wouldn't get up there and lock up, wouldn't speak. So we give Jake the phone, and Jake talks to him for an hour. And we're like, he's telling them stories about horses laying down in a creek, and these people ain't got a clue what he's talking about. So anyway, they give the phone back to Dad, and they're like, "Okay, we want to talk to the younger one now." And Dad said, "That was the younger one." So anyway, they got us out there, and but we walk out on stage to the rehearsal the day before, and they had the dummy, and they had 3 hay bales stacked up this high. Like they wanted to make it scary, so. But anyway, we actually got to rope Jay on stage, and the people said, "We want you to rope him around the neck," and Dad, like, "No, you won't." So anyway, me and Jake figured up a plan, and the stage was real small, so I heeled Jay, and Jake headed him, and anyway, he fell down. We didn't hurt.
What a great experience. Do you remember who else was on the show with you? What stars?
Jay's wife and Christina Applegate. Al
Jay's
Bundy's
wife?
daughter. Jay's wife was on that night.
I'll be darned, yeah. What a great memory to have.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the fun stuff.
Oh.
That's the stuff they never take away from you, Yeah. It's like being thrown in a Mexican jail and you can't get out for 4 days, That's the stuff people don't, I've heard that story from people, You can't take that away.
Heard that more than being on the Tonight Show.
It was just that much better. No. It was a lot of fun.
All right, so back to 2 things. Team roping. It's a team event. It's, you know, it's good and it's bad. I know we talked about this fall because I kind of thought, you know, it's time maybe to start doing those other events, venturing out. He steer wrestles really good too, you know, but I said, hey man, you know, it's just good to have another event. Have you enjoyed the other event a little bit to kind of?
I have. Joe fixed me up. I mean, he let me borrow a great horse, and he made it fun for me again. You know, if it wasn't for Joe right there at the end saving me, I mean, he sure helped me, and he's got me. Motivated.
If it had been 20 years ago, Joe fixing you up might have not been all that good.
It'd have been a hell of a story, though. Let me tell you that.
Joe, let's tell everybody who his partner is, Paul. That's
Paul Eves. I tell you what, these guys got together 2 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And it just, sometimes it works. It just clicks, you know, it really does. Rode with your brother a lot, Jake, you know, rode with other partners. But when he and Paul Eves got together, that's when I started talking about Luke Brown, Caleb, you know, Clay, Paul. There's about 7 or 8 young teams that anybody's day could win the gold buckle for the next 10 years. And I sure put this boy at the top of the list of the up-and-coming successful ropers in the future.
Well, thank you.
It's been an honor to have him here. Good young man.
All
Clay
right,
Smith.
Clay
would you
Smith.
Appreciate it. Thank
Give
you.
him a hand, would you
Thank you.
please? Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for
Joe.
coming.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, you good?
I'll see you. Okay, I will. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate
Nice young man.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time about the future of rodeo. You know what I mean? If you don't have those guys coming up and taking everybody's, you know, old guys' spots, rodeo doesn't have a chance. It's got a chance with guys like him.
Well, and having the opportunity to put your foot in the pool and test the water for like the all around, you know, these guys haven't been thinking about that.
No,
so
and we talk about it.
And
It's
nobody
good.
thought about breaking the 4-minute mile until Roger Bannister
That's
did it.
right.
And so,
I tell him all the time.
sky's the limit.
Hey, that other guy, he's supposed to win it, but at least be a rock in his boot and aggravate the hell out of him, you know?
Joe, there's this question here. It's interesting. Who provides the horses? All the contestants in that grand entry, I don't know how, that's a lot of horses out there. Who provides that for the people?
Well, a lot of the time event people bring an extra one. You know, very few ride their good horse in there because it's good to watch and it's fun to do, but it's dangerous in there, you know? So everybody usually brings an extra, you know, to just ride in the grand entry. And the stock contracts used to provide for the rough stock. And sometimes the grand entry practice is the best show in Vegas because they used to do it at 9 o'clock in the morning. They've gotten smart. They do it at 2 or something, 1. But half the field was hungover because it was the night after they give your the back numbers and all. So half that was a problem. The other half was rough stock guys, and a lot of these guys can ride a bull and a buck-in horse, and they can't keep their butt in a saddle for anything. So it's good watching.
It is
but
fun
stock
to watch.
contractors used to bring some bad stuff.
The scariest part for most of the rookies, nearly every year, they're not worried at all about the bull riding.
No,
They're
it's the
scared to
grand
death
entry.
of the grand entry.
Yeah.
You know,
Donnie,
and one of them, they're going, you're facing the wrong way. Turn your horse around. And he goes, no, he's being still. You know?
I want to tell this grand entry ceremony story because we talked about your dad, Donnie. So we were at Mesquite. Donnie and I were doing Mesquite, Texas. And Donnie's dad always rode in the grand entry.
yeah, Fort Worth, too.
This was about 30 years ago, maybe 25. So Donnie's dad was 60, 65 years of age. And he would and the big build up and Neo Gay, he'd ride out, tip his hat to the crowd as he's running by. Well, this horse, this night, just as Neil goes to tip that hat in front of a full house, this horse fires, and Neil goes flying over the dashboard, and I mean, hit. And I remember saying
He hung on to the reins, and that was a mistake. Because
Whiplash.
it was like popping the whip. I mean, it knocked him colder than a wet rock.
I remember I leaned over to Donnie and I said, "What's that horse's name?" And he said, "Alpo." That's the last time you'll see that dude come in.
Yeah,
here.
but you know who took the next introduction on that same horse? My dad's favorite cowboy, Byron Walker. And it worked again. That was hilarious.
It was. I'll never forget it. Let's get this next young man out here. What a ride this guy put together tonight. This bull riding is exciting, and this young man is one of the reasons. He's out of Utah, a great bull rider. Joe Frost is here. Would you give him a hand and welcome Joe Frost here tonight?
All right.
Joe Frost is in the house, and you are a color-coordinated dude. Now, those are some good-looking shoes on this guy.
Yeah, they are. You ought to see the tops of them.
Wow. Now, does the barrel
Want
racer
to know
know
who he
you've got him?
voted for?
Joe, we're so glad to have you here with us. Congratulations on coming back to the NFR. Third time, I believe, for you here at the NFR. But what I want people to know, and we're going to show your ride from tonight, which was outstanding. And you did not take the re-ride. You kept the points. You got some money tonight. But this guy was injured, Donnie, for about 4 months. You didn't ride. It started in Houston. Tell people what happened, Joe.
I got stepped on by a bull in Houston, and about a week later, there was still some swelling in my leg, and it bruised pretty bad. And so I turned out of the short round at Austin and went home. And I wouldn't even have been worried about it, but it happened to me when I was in high school too. And so I thought it might be a blood clot, and I went in and had them look, and sure enough. And so I had to sit home on blood thinners for 3 months. And, you know, I mean, it's not a real strenuous injury. They put you on blood thinners and thigh-high socks, and they say, do whatever you want.
I got thigh-high socks.
But they're anklets for other people.
Yeah, totally different topic, too.
Anyways, but, you know, I mean, I just stayed home, worked on the ranch. But the thing that sucked about it is they said, you come in 3 months and we'll check you again. And, you know, you could be 3 more months or you could be good. So you're sitting there the whole time thinking, okay, I mean, you're disappearing. But,
go away.
And I made him go in after a month and check on it. And it was pretty well gone, but they still made me sit for 3 months to completely clear it out of my system. But
You first kind of came back like in
4th of
July,
July.
4th of July, where I saw you
yeah,
at Cody.
Cody and Pinoca, and that was my comeback after 3 months off.
But the point I wanted to make, Donnie,
And you know where he's at in the standings
that's
right
what
now, don't
exactly. He kind of spotted everybody.
He's
3
number
months.
2 now, albeit, you know, that's quite a bit of money in between you and Sage, you know, coming in.
And we was dead even when I
Y'all
left.
were dead even, and I know what that feels like. And it's a good excuse, but the way we are raised, it's still an excuse. You want to win, and you came here, and you're intending on putting on as much pressure as you can deal with. But let's watch his ride first tonight, because what did you win? What'd you win?
4th or 5th.
Fourth or fifth on the score, and he got an option for a re-ride because the bull stumbles. But let's watch this ride, and I want to tell you what I was so impressed with, you know, and talk about your bull. What's happening right there?
Oh, you know, he's kind of moving forward, but blowing up underneath himself, and then really shoots forward and just kind of stumbles and loses his feet and drops me way into my hand, and I felt like I done a good job of not panicking, and then he blowed right back up and let me adjust, and
That's
everything worked
exactly the word he said. He said
We
he
out
didn't
back.
panic, and he just waited on him to stand up and go back under him. Yep.
When you talk about roping calves, it's, you know, when you really want to go fast, you have to slow down, and, you know, things have to develop. And when this bull stumbles right there, he's into his hand. Most guys panic, try to make too big a move, and you let loose. This bull picks him right back up.
If he over moves right there, he's bucked off, right?
Yeah, you know, if he turns loose with what he's got, panicking, trying to get another hold, he bucks off. Or at the very worst, has to monkey up and he don't win anything, you know, but not panicking, being number 2, trying to put on pressure. You know, you have a tendency to override, to try to make things happen, and you can't do that. You have to take what you're dealt with, and I was so impressed. I saw you at your first NFR. What, you come out, you rode your first like 7?
First 3.
First, you know, so...
But 7 did sound better.
7 sounds better.
Yeah, let Donnie tell
my
the story.
I
It'll
don't
be
let
better.
facts get in the way of a good one. So, come on. But you rode really good. You had a lot of pressure on you at your first NFR, and a guy's going to make some mental mistakes at his first NFR. But to me, that looked like that was a veteran move, and I just was impressed that Sage wins the go-round. You know,
We still got 9 more.
got 9 more, and he's not the least bit worried.
And how many times have I been 74 to 78, no reride option, and then here's what's going to happen tonight: they're going to shut the lights off, and then buck me after, because there's 1 to go. You know,
Yeah.
I've cooled off. I mean, to me, it was like 82 and a half.
You take it because that wasn't but a point out a second.
Yeah.
Which is where you are. But the whole thing is I know that you're not counting dollars. You're wanting to ride as good as you can ride. And if you get another opportunity, if you like what's in the re-ride pen, you're apt to take your chances. But there was just a lot of stuff. That means to me that you're one of the top pros in your event. Because it's not like, oh, they give me a reride, I gotta take it, you know. Well, that's BS. You're in this to make money. And
Well, you know what else most people don't realize, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's not like they just run him right back in there, and the judges are still pumped up, and
crowd noise.
Crowds are pumped up, and you're warm and ready, and we're all thought, I'm gonna get back on. No, they're gonna wait, and they're gonna
turn the lights off, sell the deal.
Bull. The judges are gonna be in there waiting, get something. Come back out here, let's mark this kid. And that's me and the judging deal. I'm so
And then
glad.
you're 79 with no option, and then you don't win a check.
That's right.
And
What I wanted to point out, Donnie, you're Joe, you're 24 now, 24 years
24.
old, Sage 22, something like that. But you can't be around Joe, just like you can't be around Sage. You and I have talked about. These guys are winners, and there's just something different about these guys.
Well, I had to
Donnie.
argue with both of them.
Yeah.
I'm going, okay, Sage, will you come to the show tonight if you don't win the go-round? He said, well, I'm planning on winning the go-round, but sure, I'd love to. And so I said, okay, Your Highness. And so, and I look over to Joe because he's standing about 2 steps away, and I said, Joe, if he wins the go-round, would you please come to our show? And Joe says, well, absolutely, but I'm planning on winning the go-round. And I said, look, y'all came in 1 and 2, so it's vice versa. So we got all that. I mean,
Hey,
this,
Dan.
this took 30 minutes.
Dan, how is it dealing with yourself?
Well, my point is to you, Joe, that I'm so excited about bull riding this rivalry, and it's not even a rivalry, it's just the talent caliber of these two guys.
There's the rivalry, and I don't look at the money. I just watch the go-rounds of who's winning that night. Talk about the group of bull riders that have qualified this year versus the last couple of years that you've been here. I have said, I think that although we have 7 rookies in the bull riding, they're not rookies in the sense that they're just young. These guys have all ridden double rank bulls, have won on big stages, so they're not scared. Like Cody Rostocki, he's won in the CBR. Tough Hedeman's been bragging on him. This kid knows he's good. That sort of thing. Am I right, or what do you think?
I mean, you look at the riding percentages of a lot of these guys and what they've done this year and how much money it took to make it in the bowl. Another 10,000. Hell, it might have been 15,000 more than what it took last year, and that just goes to show that those 15 guys, and then there was 3 or 4 more that were. The bull riding all year this year has been tougher than what it's been, and these guys have stepped up. And in all reality, Sage has made a step up because he's riding 60% of them, and it's hard to beat him if you're only riding 20 or 30. And we all want a piece of it.
Well, I'm excited to watch these next 9 rounds, and I'm so thankful to Joe for coming out. I like this young man. You go ahead, Joe.
Hey, you know what I'd like to see? Him going and get that gold buckle in the bull riding. Because if you get a gold buckle in bull riding, would you take that chance to start working that other event for that all around?
I
I said on television,
because
you
I'm
have
telling
won in every event in
This
rodeo,
guy
that's a
is
cowboy.
this is the closest thing to Phil Line or equal to Phil Line. And if you don't know him, he won averages at both ends of the arena and he worked both ends. Joe Frost can work 2 timed events and a bull riding and skip the other ropes and win the all around and dang sure give him a race.
I had a hard time this year. I told myself this year one goal, and I wasn't gonna mess with nothing else. And I had a hard time not entering the timed events.
I would have to think that. Yeah.
But I did. I hit a little rough patch there towards the end, and Josh was supposed to be entered at San Bernardino and St. George, Utah, in the calf roping and bull riding, and I said, I'll enter the calf roping too. I ain't gonna have to saddle the horse, and you just get on rope and win 3,000 at 2 rodeos. It'd be great. And Josh got hurt. I had to saddle the horse and wore myself out and didn't win any money in the calf roping. But I did win the bull riding at both of them.
Well, see there, that's at both events. Make you work at it. But really and truly, I mean, that's not. I mean, seriously, at your age and as good as you are at both ends of the arena, you know, your bonuses would. If I was running all the sponsors, I'd be having big clauses for all around.
Well, and the one caveat there that all, if it works, that's all real fine and good, and all of the money, you know, you have to have your goals to win, but I don't care how good you are, and this is how good Joe Beaver was. I don't care how good you are in your main event. When you start splitting your time, whether it be another event, prospective girlfriend, wife, children, you start splitting and taking away from your focus, it's going to cost you money.
Oh,
and
for
you
sure.
know, whether you have, you know, too much money can cause as many problems as not enough money. Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, you know. So, you know, I worry, you know, about it some, but then I also know that he's awfully good in those other events.
Anytime I get in them other events, the bull riding becomes real easy. I got to saddle the horse. I got to rope, get off, tie a calf.
Yeah, go
and
back.
Then the bull riding, I don't even have to catch him. They put him in the chute. I just get to wrap my rope around him.
See,
hang on for
now
8
that's the
seconds, and
mentality
there's
it
the
takes to be an all-around champion right there.
Give him a hand,
I
Joe
agree.
Frost
Talking
right
about-
here.
Enough said. I'm being
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, Joe.
Joe Frost. Y'all can clap a little louder than that, can't you? Come on.
There's another good young rodeo star. You know,
He's a star,
we
yeah.
had 2 of them on here. Just rodeo's shining bright.
Let's get these 2 fellows out here. Should we do that and talk
Let's
a little
do
bit
it.
of rodeo? There's exciting things going on at Boyd Gaming, and let's
Yep.
just get them both out here. Boyd Polhamus and Bob Tallman are both here. Would you welcome these gentlemen to national finals tonight? Gentlemen,
Talking about the best ever.
give them a hand.
There it is, right there.
Come on in.
All right, which way we going now?
Come sit.
Oh,
Hi, Boyd. Good.
have a seat there, Boyd. Bob, right there. Go ahead, Boyd. Have a seat right there.
I told Tallman to sit. I said, I'm behind you. I've been behind you before.
He's had soap on a rope ever since it happened.
Yeah, don't bend over.
She was trying to tell us that.
Guys, before you got here, we were talking, Boyd, and we're going to talk about the shootout here in just a second with Bob. Boyd, what an exciting year this is because everything is still up for grabs, Boyd, and that, what a difference.
And I don't know if you've gotten this as the first show. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but there's some debate about a format change in the way the money gets paid out here in the future, which would make it open all the way to the end. So in the past where we've been in situations where it's either going to be Casey Field or Stephen Peebles, the world champion with 3 to go, as long as they ride, one of those 2 guys would win it. There are some discussions about that changing. But yes, the races are wider open, especially the all-around race. I mean, it's within $10,000 now after just 1 round, you know, and so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because we'll still be guessing into round 6 or 7. But after that, you know, you can start doing simple math and go, okay, 10 guys aren't going to win the world. And so if you're an announcer and the guy's backing in the box and you know he's not going to win the world because he's missed 3 out of 7 calves. You know, it starts making it a little tougher make people care about his performance. So anyway,
with that go-round money, it still is awesome. This is your 21st year of announcing this rodeo, right?
Yes,
18 years in a row for Boyd and Paul Amos. Bob, how many years did you announce the National Finals Rodeo? Lay it on me.
A bunch.
Tell me.
Blessed.
Oh,
Well,
23.
23. Thank you, Boyd.
Yeah.
Give
He'll be
these
here
two
for
a
30.
hand, would you?
He'll be
I
here
mean,
for 30.
it's just. And Bob, there's exciting news here at Boyd Gaming. And Donnie, we started it last year. It's the Boyd Gaming Shootout. Bob, tell us when that starts, what it's about, how people can be involved.
well, you can be involved online. You can be involved at our ticket office. You can be involved on the phone, however you want. Here's the big story. A year ago, and Boyd and I were blessed to be a part of this 3 years ago. So when I left over there, I knew that there was going to be a future because of Boyd Gaming. Boyd Gaming, for those of you that don't understand this, have been, are, and I would assume will be, our team and our family, the largest contributing sponsor in so many more ways than just money. Okay, it's all of our 6 properties. It's everything that we do on a year-round base. And all of us in different places are Boyd Gaming. We're in Kissimmee, Florida. We're Boyd Gaming. So Boyd Gaming put together a system, and as I alluded to, Boyd and I were able to be in this in the thought process a few years back of how to put this shootout together, and then Cinch got involved with it. And hey, I'm a Wrangler guy, and I'm one of the 2 voices with my great friend Roger Mooney at the Boyd Gaming Cinch shootout. So it started off going to be $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Nobody really talked about the money because it was the quality and the content of what we were going to produce Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So a year ago, there were a lot of ifs. In our first performance, we had the fire marshal couldn't get the fire alarm turned off for 17 minutes that we stood in there in the dark, and they didn't want me to sing, so we just listened to it, beep, 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 beep. Then we had the first rodeo, and people went, hot damn, this is good stuff. So we invite the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th finisher in each qualifying event at the Wrangler National Finals. And then we get to invite 4 others. We had Cody Ole and Fred Whitfield. It was a match against the deal. Joe B slips out of the park and shows up with a new ace in the hole. And I think he crossfired and they didn't give him the flag and he felt bad, so he let some other guys win it. Here's the deal about the Boyd Gaming Cinch shootout. A year ago it happened and it was very successful, if I may just say it that way. And a lot of people went, hell, that thing will never work. The big rodeo is always going to happen. Praise God it does. And how it is this year, it's even more exciting for me. And that thing will go away, and they won't get any people. Our ticket sales today are twice what they were a year ago. You can still get good seats. The Orleans Arena is one of the most beautiful facilities in the city of Las Vegas on the western United States. The seats are more comfortable than any place else in the world, but the contest is this. We rodeo full bore on Thursday. We come back on Friday. Then we come back on Saturday, and we're going to knock heads with the best 6 and come back with the best 4 and the $10,000 paycheck. You know what? That's this year. I'm going to tell you what I see coming in the next 5 years. I see it being a 5-day event paying $1 million someday. Why? Because people come here and you can't shop forever. Even my wife or my daughter. You can only go shopping so much.
Are you sure?
Your daughter and my daughter, maybe, but your wife will take the money away.
I got a second mortgage.
And it has given us something that we've been talking about this since Denver, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, San Angelo, Kissimmee.
Can I add something from the outside looking in real quick? Just add something from the outside. The thing that I think I was the most impressed about last year's for the first one, okay? And you'll agree with this because you've been in the stock contracting business all your life. And there have been several times we get here, and there's a lot of good bucking horses, and there's a lot of great bulls, but only so many are selected to go to the National Finals Rodeo. You're only going to buck so many. From what I've seen, and I wasn't here to watch it, okay, because of other obligations over there, but from looking at the videos and the different things, the stock, the bucking horses and bulls at the Boyd Gaming shootout last year were phenomenal. I mean, amazing. And there was just, when you get Cole Elshier, who's been here 3 times at the NFR, and he ends up winning the thing, but you're testing the guts out of him because he's not getting on a tweet. He's not getting this in a pony ride. These horses bucked. And that was the thing that stuck out at me. I was like, man, how are they not over there? You know?
Well, most of them almost were.
Yeah.
You know, livestock,
There's a deal.
and cowboys. And the thing about it is are you going to cheer louder for Donnie Gay when he's 90 points or somebody you've never heard of is 90 points? If you have a 90-point bull ride or a 90-point bronc ride or a 7-1 Shane Hancey tie-down calf roping run, it don't matter whose name you called out. You're supposed to be watching the event, and that's one of the only things that I had any input. I said, if you got good livestock to give the cowboys to let their ability win them something, you'll have a good event, and people will come watch.
They did.
And they did.
The cool thing along with it, Jake Vold last year, okay, he got behind, he was in the crying hole in the bareback ride and the Canadian champion. He was 16th. So he shows up here, places in both rounds and wins $10,000, leaves here with nearly $18,000. Jake Vold didn't want to be in the 16th hole again. He wants to be over there with Boyd instead of over here with me and Roger. And this opens the door for that 16th guy to go, it's over. I haven't got a chance. I got $20,000 in the bank, $30,000 in the bank. I'm even. I don't have any more money I can go win.
It's a great deal. The first time I qualified for the National Finals Rodeo, the entry fees are still, by the way, $100. If you qualify, I had to get my mother to pay my entry fees. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, this thing, I mean, if you don't make the NFR, but you made the Boyd Gaming Cinch shootout, Christmas is going to look pretty good.
And Clay O'Brien Cooper's going to be here. Fred Whitfield's going to be here. Joe Beaver's going to be here.
Clay and Jade. But you know what I love about it the most? Because if anybody says that we're trying to compete with the National Finals Rodeo, it's
Lord,
a lot. Let's imagine this. Put the Boyd Gaming Shootout on at 7 o'clock at night at the same time with that one going at 7 o'clock at night. Now we're competing, and there ain't going to be anybody in our room. Okay, that's competing, going 7 o'clock versus 7 o'clock. But we're going in the afternoon when you're a rodeo fan and you've got an appetite that is insatiable, right? And you've got a chance to come see some of the biggest names this sport has ever had, battle it out for whatever the purse is. I mean, if Joe Beaver and Jade Corkle and Clay Tryon are going to be in the same pen and I got time to watch it, you got my $30. I'll be there.
And you can gamble on it.
That's what I was just going
Let's
to say.
go bet on it.
Yeah.
We can actually, and this year,
You can, let's gamble.
That's
this
the
year
deal.
you can gamble each day.
That was
Each
my-
day, not the whole
Do you
deal.
bet on yourself a grand last year, right?
I did. They wouldn't let me bet more. I'd have bet more.
Okay, how much did you win off the grand that you bet?
I don't remember. My wife got it. I didn't get it.
Your wife
we
deserves
did.
it.
We won second in the round or whatever, and won money, and it was fun. You know,
Yeah.
and if it was a 1,001 or 800, it was worth. It was something else to do.
She bet on you?
She's bet on me a
I
lot of
bet
times. She
against
didn't know about it.
Again?
The deal with the betting is a big deal, but the thing with it is where is it going to go, okay? When we came here the very first time with the Wrangler NFR to this city, we had just left Oklahoma City, and Stanley Draper Jr., God bless him, in the Chamber of Commerce, they were doing what they could do for us. And you started into it earlier tonight when you talked about, and your dad was a part of that and everybody else, of bringing it here. We thought we were the richest people in town, and it just got bigger and bigger. I saw that check for $14 million that they held out in that arena tonight. Pat Christensen, God bless you, and Keith and Carl and everybody else. $14 million, folks. That's what kind of rodeo you're looking at this year, okay? You see what Boyd Gaming's doing? Just let me put it this way. If it's got the name Boyd Gaming attached to it, you're looking at 5 guys right here that are part of that family. We ain't looking to go no place else. I don't even know what my contract is, but the thing is, we're involved year round, and that's what Boyd Gaming does. This is kind of the frosting on our cake for the end of the year.
And tell people the times, what time of the day
2
does it
o'clock,
start?
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Tickets are available
Yeah.
here.
The doors open at 1 o'clock, and if you've never been in our palace, this is one of those things. Michael Gahn built this. Paula built this years ago until we bought all of their properties out, and they went to the South Point. and they didn't do anything second rate. This is a first-class venue. The food will be good, the beer will be cold, and $30.
Yep.
30 bucks.
Lots of things happen in the Boyd Gaming family. Like Saturday, we have the Bob Tallman bowling.
Yep.
That starts at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, you need to come at 10 o'clock. We'll have some breakfast
Right here,
and a
bowling
beer.
lanes here. We have that, and
buck
we
and
have
ball
we
down
have the buck and ball out here.
Yep.
We have, and for the first time, and it was well attended. I was told tonight, Justin Rumford, the viewing party. You can go up,
Yeah, it
watch
was
there.
big.
They get prizes and stuff.
Justin Rumford.
So. You know, what we're really trying to say is thank you, Boyd Gaming, for all of the
30
rodeo
seconds on
support
Rumford, if I
that you
might.
give us all.
Okay.
30 seconds on the little chubby
Fella.
PH.
So,
He's got three 3-year-olds. Be nice.
The Charity Tattoo League, I won, Donnie lost last year, okay? But because when y'all play, you put a little stipend in there for the charity that wins, $12,600 I was able to give the Wounded Warriors Foundation, okay? So that was great. The problem is it's round one, and let me tell you, when they finally pay this average, that's when you find out who's going to win it, okay? So you can be doing really well by the rounds, but there's such a huge chunk of money in the average that does a lot to determine who the end of the year champion is. Rumford, he finished third last year behind me and Flint Rasmussen, which makes sense because both me and Flint are a lot funnier than he is. But he texts me a picture of the standings, and I am dead last with $3,666 in earnings. Donnie's like second right now, I think, which the guy that finished last year second, that ought to tell you something, okay?
Hey, but it ain't over.
Whoa. The problem is I picked Ryder Wright in the saddle bronc riding. Ryder Wright won the round. That's $26,000. Somewhere at Pro Fantasy Rodeo, which if you'd like to see the text I recently sent to Casey Jones, it is a little bit vehement.
That was a Frontier horse, by the way.
Right. On a Frontier horse, by the way. 2-time stock contractor of the year. Thank God for Heath Stewart. Anyway, to Rumford, who's up there somewhere, okay? Suck old butt, okay? It's a long way. Long way to the end.
That's okay. Me and Justin know the score between Green Bay and Dallas.
One time in 20 years, a hog will find an acre. Okay? A hog will find. How about Joe B's team? He's a Raider fan.
Raiders, baby. Raiders.
Dose.
Skew your line. Whenever we get to talking football, Bob goes, I love hockey.
Yeah, but
Dallas won again
every
tonight,
car,
by the way.
every truck, every boat that I've ever had has been black, white, and gray. Raiders.
One thing.
Go ahead, Joe.
I got one thing I got to throw in. PRCA has another little deal out here. We talk about young talent. They have a permit finals. It's the top 5 permit guys, which you have to fill to get your card. They have them finals out here at the South Point. And my boy John Douch, talk about young talent right over there. He won the tie-down roping today, 18 years old. That's the stuff that the winners are coming along. The Joe Frost sitting right next to him. You know, the Hanchies, the Clay Smiths, the young guys, it's making it all fun.
Outstanding. Would you give these guys a hand, please, here for national finals tonight? And what I do want to tell you is that it's not over here. We're going to say goodbye here officially, but there are prizes to give away, a lot of great prizes. You are all eligible for those. We hope that you will help us celebrate our 10 years now of doing national finals tonight. 10 years, Donnie Gay, Bob Tallman, Boyd Polhamus, Joe Beaver, and we say goodbye. Thanks for watching here live. Stick around for the prizes. Roll it, guys.
Get your prizes, and in the buck and ball, it's rolling.
See you on Saturday morning. We're bowling. Donnie gets to use the cheater boards.
I'm the worst bowler in the world.
He bowls from the women's tees.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the National Finals Tonight Show at the Orleans, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow and remind you to join us for the 100th episode on December 10th. Same time, same place. we invite you to keep the party going at the legendary Buck and Ball. Head to the Buck and Ball Saloon for live music, dancing, beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. And one more reminder, get your tickets to the Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout Rodeo December 8, 9, and 10 right next door. Prices start at $30.